Here's something that didn't get a lot of pop media coverage. Last week, truckers nationwide engaged in a protest of onerous federal mandates that have been hobbling them for years. Hi folks, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. And yes, on Friday, April 12th, long-haul truckers nationwide engaged in what they called a slow roll protest of federal regulations, something that really only got brief or slightly curious mentions in a handful of media markets.
A lot of big rigs in New York City today blocking traffic, all part of a planned one-day protest. A number of large trucks were parked in front of our ABC building on the Upper West Side. This was just a few hours ago. Other truckers conducted slow roll protests on highways all across the country. They are upset over what they call excessive regulations controlling their hours. They want rules relaxed on electronic logging devices and more truck parking along expressways. They hope industry leaders will get their message.
But this is actually much bigger than those reports indicate, because the trucking industry is being crushed by heavy federal regulations that have really been piled on since the start of the Obama administration. See, the feds impose their mandates primarily through three agencies. That would be the EPA, the Department of Transportation, and a very little-known monster called the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, all of which are excused by misreading the Interstate Commerce Clause of the Constitution, which, as James Madison said, was not meant to let the feds regulate anything that crosses state borders. So the Obama administration hit American businesses with over 4,000 mandates, and many of those were applied to truckers. For example, Obama imposed new fuel efficiency mandates on truckers, forcing them to change their loads, the physical makeup of their trucks, or buy new trucks altogether. And if they didn't comply to the fuel mandates, they were fined. The Obama administration imposed restricted hours of service mandates, cutting by 12 hours the time that truckers could work over a 7-day period and compelling them to stop for a half hour every 8 hours. The Obama gang wanted to impose actual speed limits on truckers, but they had to settle with something that is called the electronic logging device, or ELD, an intrusive monitor that actually monitors trip times, allows police to offload the data, and essentially works as a de facto speed monitor anyway. Obama wanted to force all truckers to undergo tests for sleep apnea, but ended up settling with a consolation prize to prohibit what are called glider kit trucks, where old engines are used in new frames and chassis. So that means that truckers are stuck, and they are very, very frustrated because their lives are being messed with, and it is imposing massive costs on consumers. See, even as truckers struggle to manage their deliveries through weather, government construction delays, and all sorts of other problems, as they work under the thumb of federal overlords, we end up having to pay more. Look, it's not as if most people don't care about safety on the roads, but the problem comes in three forms. First, there is the constitutional question. The feds don't really have the constitutional power to do this. Second, there's the cost question. Every time they impose mandates like this, they don't allow the truckers, the businesses, and the consumers to work out and manage how they compare safety and cost. Truckers are really in tight binds right now. And third, there's what's called the tragedy of the commons. I've mentioned this before. It's an economics term, and it applies anytime private property is not established for the running of something. So if you've got the government running the roads, yes, you might have many drivers who are concerned about what they call big, scary trucks on the roads. But the driver's interests now oppose the trucker's interests or the consumer's interests. So everybody fights over how the roads will be managed. Easy way to get around it: get politics out of it. Let the roads be managed privately, and then you'll have real response to what consumers, truckers, and businesses want. Simple answer, but you're never going to get it through the political means. Wanted to make sure that you knew about it because I know that many news media outlets weren't really covering this very important protest. Thanks so much for watching. I know your time is very valuable. Hey, don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the little button that is formed like a bell, I think, and it'll tell you when new MRC-TV videos appear. And don't forget to like and subscribe and to spread the word through social media about our videos. Send a couple links to some friends. Thanks very much for watching. For MRC-TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.